Hey guys, what is up? My name is Kaylee. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am coming at you with my August book haul. As you can see, I'm super made up. If you missed my Contemporary-a-thon TBR video, I will link it down below, but I did a slight get ready with me and this is the look I ended up with. I didn't even put lipstick on, didn't even think about it, but here we are. Maybe I'll just put some on right now? Nah. We're just gonna deal with that makeup or lipstickless mouth of mine. In any case, let's get into the books that I got in August. First and foremost, we will discuss the books that I got via Book of the Month Club. I love Book of the Month Club. I have a link down below where if you join Book of the Month Club, I get a free book, you get a free book. I'm also a YA affiliate for Book of the Month YA. If you use that code instead, you get a discounted rate. So, Book of the Month Club. My spiel is over. Let's get into the actual books I chose in August. First and foremost, Riley Sager wrote Final Girls, which is the only book of theirs that I have read, and I really enjoyed it. And then I got his latest in July, and so I figured, why don't I get the second one in August? And I did. So that is The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. This is a book about a girl in like a cabin or whatnot, like a camp, and something bad happened in the camp years ago when she'd been in the camp, and now she's gone back. That's as far as I know, but when it comes to thrillers, I like to go in pretty blind and see how it goes. So I picked that. Speaking of thrillers, my main pick of Book of the Month in August is The Whisper Man by Alex North. This is a book about a father and son who move into a new house to start a new life, and that town had once had a serial killer within it. When they move into the house, his little boy starts hearing voices, aka the Whisper Man. Sounds really freaking creepy. Probably gonna read it next month in October. Looking forward to it. I've heard pretty decent things so far. I also picked up House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A. Craig. If you saw my wrap-up, which I can link down below as well, I read this book last month. But this is a story about a sister from the main perspective of a sister. She's one of 12 sisters. The first 4 have died. She is the 6th. So now the second. She does not believe that the curse that has been suggested is upon her family is actually the reason that they've died, and she wants to get to the bottom of it. This is a fantasy novel, though it reads very horror fantasy, so be aware. Some people have found the scenes with the horror very creepy. I thought they were well done. They were my favorite parts of the book, hands down. And lastly, from Book of the Month Club, as the YA affiliate, I did get Hello Girls by Brittany Cavallaro and Emily Henry. I've only read one book by Brittany Cavallaro, which is The Study in Charlotte, which was pretty good. And Emily Henry has written one of my favorite books of all time, which is A Million Junes, and I've read her other work, what else? When the Sky Fell on Splendor, which was okay, so I am looking forward to this. I have not gotten to it yet. It's a story about 2 girls who are friends, and they both want to get out of town, out of their lives, and so they decide one day to just pick up and go, and they do. They leave together, and it's kind of their trip and their journey, and that's as far as I know about it, but I'm excited to read it. It has been getting mixed reviews, but I'll get to it eventually. Okay, so those are all my book box books. Next, I will get into the books that I had pre-ordered. First and foremost, again, if you saw my wrap-up from this month, you know that I got The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. It was my favorite book of the month. Absolutely loved it. I can't get too far into it because it is a sequel, and everything that happens in this relies on the Poppy War, which was the first book. But our main character, Rin, is kind of dealing with the aftermath of the first book, which has to do with the Poppy War, an opium-based war for leadership and drug handling, what the fuck am I talking about? Regardless, the sequel is so good. It is even better than the first book. Highly recommend it. And my next pre-order, though I am not a big middle grade reader, Catherine Arden is one of my favorite authors, so of course I'm gonna get her middle grade book, and that is Dead Voices by Catherine Arden. This is technically like a companion novel / sequel to Small Spaces, which was released last year, which takes place in fall and has to do with scarecrows and It's a creepy little middle grade book. This moves into winter with the same characters, and these characters go to like a ski resort, and there is ghosts. It's haunted. It really makes me think, just the synopsis of R.L. Stein's Fear Street books from back in the day. I used to eat those books up, so I'm really looking forward to reading this next month, which I'm giving away part of my TBR, but hey. And then just books I picked up randomly, of which I have 3. Well, technically it's more than 3. You can see one set back there, but that is, whoop, Princess Jellyfish by Kiko Higashimura. This is a contemporary manga that has to do with a bunch of girls that live in a house that aren't like other girls, but like, it's not as annoying as it sounds. They all have very specific interests that aren't the societal norm. They don't like girls that are made up and like to dress up, and they definitely don't like men, except the main character, who's obsessed with jellyfish, gets tangled up with a guy who happens to be the Prime Minister's son and also dresses like a woman. So the rest of the girls think he's a woman, and they kind of have to keep this charade up for a while. So one of my favorite series so far. I've only read the first 4 volumes of, I believe, 9. So I have a ways to go, and I can't wait to see where the story goes. Then, due to a very, very steep discount, I picked up Beneath the Sugar Sky by Shauna Maguire. I have read everything that has been published so far. I just don't own all of them. So when I see one that's incredibly inexpensive, I'm gonna snag it up. This is, I believe, the 3rd in the series. It is not my favorite of the series. I just didn't like the side story, and the world they went into is very cool because it has to do with, like, think Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, when you can like eat everything that is in, you know, when Augustus Gloop starts eating all the chocolate. It's a world like that, and it's having to navigate that and get to the end and go back home. So it's fun, just not my favorite, but I want the whole series, and there's going to be a ton of them. So, and last but not least, because this book is talked about quite often, and it also has, like, I've never seen anything super negative about it, and it's one of Books and Lala's favorites, so of course, Dig by A.S. King. I know nothing much about it except that the characters don't go by like typical names. There's things like the Freak, the Shoveler, the Flea Circus Ringmistress, and Can I Help You, and things like that. So I'm really intrigued. Explores how a toxic culture of polite, affluent white supremacy tears a family apart, and how one determined generation has a shot at digging its way out. It sounds pretty heavy. I was going to try and put it into my Contemporary-a-thon TBR, but I decided that I'd rather just mood read it someday, so that's what I'm going to do. So that's it. That is my August book haul. It is not too crazy, and I have read 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, which is really not that bad, honestly. I'm trying to keep on top of my shit. Thank you for being here, guys. Like if you've liked this video, subscribe if you are new here and would like to see more content from me. I post all my social media links down below. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter and Goodreads. I hope you are having a lovely day, and that you hauled some great books in August, or you got some great books from the library in August, or that you've just been reading some great books. I will see you in the next one, guys.